Hello. Well, it's exactly a month after my top surgery, so I thought I'd update you as to what's happened in that month. First of all, let's talk about pain. That was the bit that that nobody really explains what the pain feels like and how much it is, and you have to not work for 8 weeks while recovering, but how painful is that going to be? Okay, so first week I needed to take painkillers. Across my scars it burnt. It was like a burning pain, and then all the muscles, generally this top bit here and underneath my arm where my arm muscles were, was like I'd done a long workout, and then you'd get the odd shooting pain going down the muscle and then sometimes into the nipples as well, so odd shooting pains. So that was definitely, especially at night time, I needed painkillers. Second week, just had the burning sensation across my scars, but they weren't painful. It was just really uncomfortable and sore. Sore would be the best word. Sore but not painful. Third week, it just lessens more and more and more, really. Now, on the fourth week, it's uncomfortable. It doesn't need painkillers. It's just sore. I drove to church on, this was about 25 minutes worth of driving, and my chest muscles then hurt again. But generally, you don't need to take painkillers. It's not pain, but it's not comfortable. Just tiringly uncomfortable all the time. But every day it definitely gets better. So that's the downsides over with. Positive sides. It has been wonderful to be leaning over and not having floppy bits. You know what I mean. It's been wonderful to get up in the morning and be able to put a shirt on straight away without having to think about any binders or undershirts or anything. It's been quite weird because it's been really comfortable walking around with a bare chest, and even when my mum came to visit me, and I thought it would be strange, it wasn't. It just felt normal. Not having a shirt on with her around, or not having I did have a shirt on, but I didn't do it up because it was still hurting the first time I saw her, and it just didn't feel weird at all, and I thought it would be, especially for your mum. Now at the moment I'm still got the micropore tape going over the scar, and a few days ago, so I was taking it off every morning and replacing them, and I noticed that there was a section that was starting to bleed as I was taking it off, and a bruised bit that came around it. So what I've decided to do is to not change the micropore every day like I have been, but to sort of leave it 2 or 3 days, then take it off and then replace it, and it seems to be settling down. I mean, it makes sense. Ripping the scars open all the time, it seems a bit illogical to me. It's what Mr. Yellen said to do, but it just didn't. It's counterintuitive, and I feel that leaving it on for 2 or 3 days just gives it that extra time, and also saves the micropore tape for when I go back to work, because I really do want to protect my scars as well as I possibly can, and so that extra movement of working in a normal office. At the moment I'm just sitting around reading books, but when I'm moving around a lot more I will need more protection, and so I'm going to try and keep as much micropore as I can to sort of last me through working times. I keep looking down because I have it all written down. I'm having to readjust my vision of what a man's chest looks like, because I thought that my chest would look like when I was binding, in as much as it would be flat, but that's not the case. And as I look more and more at men's bare chests, honestly, you'd think I was gay, but I'm not. It's all research. I'm realising actually there's quite a lot of undulation that goes on a man's chest. And because I was a bit worried about the right side, my right pec is a bit bigger than the left one. And I thought, I keep worrying that it looks too much like a breast. It doesn't. It doesn't in the context of other men. It looks perfectly normal. But I think it's because I've expected it to be completely flat, and it's not. And I'm having to readjust that. I'm having to readjust. I've still got the scabs on my nipples, but 1/6 of the scab on my right side has come off. And so I'm starting to see what the nipple looks like underneath, and it's not quite as I expected it to be. I had unrealistic expectations of what my old nipple would look like as a new nipple, because what has happened is Mr. Yelland has cut the nipple off, readjusted it, resized it, and then grafted it back on. And I'm having to realise that actually I'm not perfect. That sounds very conceited, doesn't it? My chest is not quite how I expected it to be. There's nothing wrong with it, absolutely nothing wrong with it. It looks exactly like a man's chest should do. And I'm not symmetrical. My right side is bigger than my left side. And that's perfectly normal. Most cis men have different sizes. It's just that I am used to being flattened, and I thought I would be identical. Actually, I look more natural not being identical, so it's better. I'm much better off. However, it does take a while to get used to. And when all the scab nipples have come off and I'm not taping and everything, I'll probably have to adjust again to seeing the scars, because at the moment most of the time the scars are covered, so when I look at my chest I just see tape. But I know, big scarring across your chest, you're going to have to, it's a readjustment of looking different and feeling different. It's all positive, but it's still a readjustment. And there's one more thing, last thing, is what's really weird is that my right chest, now that was the side, the one that had more bruising. The bruising's still a bit there, but it's going down rapidly. But the muscle on my right side keeps flexing and going really tight, and I can feel that tight muscle every so often. I can feel it with my hand, which is unusual because obviously when there was tissue there before I couldn't feel it. Now I can feel it. It also feels weird from inside that it starts contracting and then loosening. I don't know what that is. I'm sure it'll settle down, but very odd. Weird things that I didn't expect I would have to get used to. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all that's happened in the first month. I'm now managing to sleep a lot more flat and occasionally on my side. Not so much on my right side, but my left side. It's a lot more comfortable. I can still feel it. I can't drive very far still. I am surprised that it is taking me this long, because I thought, oh yeah, I'm really healthy and I bounce back quickly, but it does really take this length of time. Other guys I've heard have gone back to work after 2.5 weeks. I could never have done that, and I don't, I do an office job. Okay, so I do quite a physical office job. I lift down books, but just driving to get there would have been too much, and would still be too much now. So I don't want to mess it up. I only get one chance to make my scars look nice for the rest of my life. I don't want to mess it up. I'm not going to jump into work too quickly. I'm going to take care of myself. Okay, so I realised that in the first bit of the video I didn't actually show you my chest, so here it is. It's all taped up. There's a mark here where I've sort of got an extra amount of flesh, as I say, because this side is bigger. But no, it's doing well. I'm very pleased with it. I will probably speak to you next month regarding my chest surgery. What I'm going to do is sort of do monthly tea and then monthly chests for a bit. So you'll get 2 a month from me. Oh, and then I'll see how it goes. Okay, I'll see you next month for my chest update. Bye.